You guys aren't going to believe this. If you laugh at this next clip, you win. Check out this idiot. Watch this right here. Watch this. Y'all living in 2017. Meanwhile, I'm in 3017. Catch up. I wonder what you're doing now, 4 years later. Jeez, you are living 100 years in the future. You are living 100 years in the future. You are living 100 years in the future. 100 years in the future.
You are fake news.
Sir,
go ahead.
Can you stay?
He can't even do simple math. Oh, what a loser. What a loser. Oh, you guys, if you laugh, you win. I'm Tyler Zed. Welcome to Zeducation. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another episode of That Didn't Age Well. Clearly, my public school math did not age well. You know, I'm getting messages like this saying, I want an apology video now. You ain't getting one, all right? I'm just being me. I'm just using the skills that the state taught me, okay? I'm not apologizing for that. If you are new here to this series, it's been a while since we've done our last episode of That Didn't Age Well. Here on this series, we call out hypocritical and lying politicians, mainstream media, and celebrities and entertainers. And today we have a lot to go over. We have Joe Biden, we have the MLB, Black Lives Matter, and Biden voters regretting their decision to put him in office. But first, before we get to today's jam-packed list, the new podcast episode is up over on the podcast channel. So after this episode, please head over there and subscribe there as well. And as always, please continue to support this channel by subscribing and clicking the bell for notifications when new videos are uploaded. Now, on to today's list of things that didn't age well. Number 10. We cannot have a list without CNN on it. They're always continually on these lists. And today's list is a big gaffe. They recently ran this article on the front page of their website. Siwoo Kim breaks putter in frustration, forced to putt with wood at the Masters. The funny part about this article, that's not Siwoo Kim. They put a picture of the wrong Asian on here. CNN, how racist of you. How racist of you, CNN. Unbelievable. Number 9. A few weeks ago, Microsoft announced a major deal with the United States Army. Microsoft wins $22 billion deal making headsets for US Army. That is a big money-making deal for Microsoft. And coincidentally, Nancy Pelosi's husband bought $10 million worth of Microsoft a few weeks before this deal was announced. And that very timely buy by Mr. Pelosi is now up over 10%. That's $1 million profit in a couple weeks. And why does this always happen with the Pelosis? They buy Tesla. A few weeks later, the government announces they're going to be buying millions and billions of dollars of electric vehicles over the next few years. This seems to be a pattern with the Pelosis. And the worst part is, nobody ever cares and nobody ever does anything about it. Number 8. Black Lives Matter, the organization, has raised millions and millions and millions of dollars. But the local chapters are not happy with the national leadership of Black Lives Matter. Going back to November, places like the Black Lives Matter in DC said this: despite millions being donated to the network, local chapters have lacked support and resources from national leadership. As a result, much of our local community work continues to be erased. That is so crazy because this organization gets millions and millions and millions of dollars in donations, and the local chapters are saying, hey, where's the money? How come we're not getting these resources? Well, maybe it's because the national leadership is doing stuff like this. Marxist BLM founder racks up $1 million property empire with at least 4 homes. A lot to dissect there. She's a Marxist, equality, and she has 4 homes. One of them costing $1.4 million. That's a lot of money. Not questionable at all. The local chapters, they should be pissed off at the national chapters. Just my opinion, The Marxist leaders who are not equally distributing their money. It's just, come on, guys. Come on. Number 7. Throughout March, the Biden administration has told us repeatedly that there is no problem at the border, guys. No problem. The Washington Post going as far as writing propaganda saying there's no migrant surge at the U.S. southern border. Here's the data. Well, you can try to convince us that there is no surge, but the data says this. New CBP has published March numbers showing 172,331 taken into custody, the most in nearly 2 decades. The blue line on the graph below is 2021. CPB has had to redo its chart to stretch the y-axis. Washington Post, Biden administration, it's hard to control the narrative when the data is this out of whack. There is a problem at the border, and it is your fault. Number 6. For number 6, we go to John Kerry again. This guy is continually in these lists all the time. And here's his latest one. Here is a clip of him in 2014 using climate change to try and push policy and divert and funnel tax dollars to areas that he wants them diverted to.
In 5 years, scientists predict we will have the first ice-free Arctic summer. That exposes more ocean to sunlight. Ocean is dark. It consumes more of the heat from the sunlight, which then accelerates the rate of the melting and warming rather than the ice sheet and the snow that used to reflect it back up into the atmosphere.
Follow the science, guys. The experts in 2014 said this was going to happen, but it didn't happen. And now the models have updated. And here's an article from National Geographic that says Arctic summer sea ice could disappear as early as 2035. Wow. So what happened to the 2014 predictions? Why were the experts and the scientists wrong then? And why should we listen to them now when they have continually been wrong on this front over and over and over and over again? But hey guys, we gotta pass all these bills, divert trillions of dollars to these areas because of climate change, even though we know that they've been wrong many, many times. Number 5. Speaking of trusting the experts, I just want to read to you a couple headlines from The Hill about Dr. Fauci. April of 2020, Fauci, second wave of coronavirus is inevitable. June of 2020, Fauci, not inevitable that there will be a second wave of coronavirus. March of this year, Fauci warns a new wave of COVID infections could be on the way. Just a couple weeks later in April, Fauci tamps down fears of another coronavirus wave. I don't think that's going to happen. He is literally on the opposite side of the spectrum on the same issue on several different occasions. This is just a sample size of the times that he has flip-flopped, switched his stance. It's unbelievable that we got. Whoa. What am I talking about? What am I talking about, guys? Trust and listen to the experts, even though they say and flip-flop all the time. Okay, listen and trust the experts, guys. Guys, stop it, all right? Number 4, sticking on the COVID stuff. Remember when Trump said this and he got reamed in the media in the run-up to the election? Back in September, Trump says, without evidence, every American will get coronavirus vaccine by April. From CNN on the same day, Trump says every American can get a coronavirus vaccine by April. But health experts say that's not likely. The experts and the very trustworthy media, they told us that Trump was lying. He's just saying this to get elected, right? He's just saying that everyone can get a vaccine so people will vote for him, right? And by April, not even possible. The experts say that that's not possible. But here's what Biden just said. In April, following Trump's timeline, President Biden plans to announce he's moving the deadline for states to make all U.S. adults eligible for COVID vaccine up to April 19th. Oh, no way. Shucks, we have enough vaccines for this? Enough vaccines for every American to get one if they want one? Like Trump said in September? Oh, but the experts said that wasn't possible. Unbelievable. Unbelievable that this is happening. Praise Biden. Praise him. Number 3. The MLB moved the All-Star game from Georgia to Colorado because of the racist voter ID laws. The ID laws that would require you to show an ID to get an absentee ballot. That's racist, guys. That's racist. Just get it in your head. It's racist. So they moved, but now there's a lot of backlash, specifically from a black owner in Atlanta, limo company, who slammed the MLB, saying the $100 million in revenue to this area was going to be the opportunity for all of us to recover some of the losses that we incurred during the pandemic. Apparently, the MLB doesn't care about black business owners. But even better than this, the MLB moved to Colorado because of voter ID laws. But in Colorado, they have voter ID laws. Acceptable forms of identification. All voters who vote at the polls must provide identification. If you are voting by mail for the first time, you may also need to provide a photocopy of your identification when you return your mail ballots. Wow, MLB, I can't believe you are supporting Colorado that has these racist ID laws. How dare you? How dare you go to a place that requires ID? Unbelievable. Number 2, more Trump and Biden. Before Trump left, there was a deadline put in place for U.S. troops to be out of Afghanistan by May 1st of this year. And this just happened with that deadline. Breaking, President Joe Biden will leave U.S. troops in Afghanistan beyond the May 1st deadline negotiated with the Taliban by the Trump administration. An official says Biden has set the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks as the new withdrawal date. But I need to remind you what he said about leaving Afghanistan in 2012.
But we are leaving. We are leaving in 2014. Period.
Come on, man! Once a liar, always a liar. We've said this. He has shown a pattern throughout his history of serving as a politician of lying. And this is just another example of that. And not to mention, why? Why push it out? Leave. Get out of there. We've been there for almost 20 years. Maybe we will actually leave this time, but I will put money down that it gets extended again. I will almost guarantee it. We'll see what happens. But like I said, once a liar, always a liar. So don't get your hopes up. Number one, I just want to show you a few more examples of Biden voters regretting what they did and who they voted for. There are countless examples of this, and here are just a couple.
I've never thought I'd say this, but I wish Trump won. I can't afford gas anymore and struggling with rent. I had to ask my parents for money. Maybe things will get better under Queen Kamala. Hopefully. Waiting for that.
We got duped so effing hard. You did. You got duped really hard. But we told you so. We told you that this was going to happen. At least you're recognizing your mistake now. But well, guys, just silver linings. At least we don't have Trump's mean tweets anymore, right? What do you think about today's list? What do you think about all these flip-floppers, all these liars, all these propagandists in our media? Let me know what you think in the comments. While you're down there, please like this video and please help me get it recommended to others. Also, please go check out the podcast channel. That's it for today's video. Until next time, I'm Tyler Zed, and this is Zeducation.
Idiots.